One of the hardest things to do in scuba diving is to do nothing at all while minimizing movement. This task depends on various factors, one of which is optimal trim. Despite its critical importance, it is frequently neglected, and even those divers who understand its significance often lack the precise knowledge on how to achieve proper trim. Divers commonly assume that merely adjusting weight distribution will resolve all trim issues, yet they often encounter balance problems despite the proper allocation of weights. The key to resolving these issues lies in body posture, which refers to the way we manage and control our bodies underwater. To attain the optimal posture, a diver must develop a good sense of muscle coordination, enabling them to precisely control and adjust their body alignment during diving. The primary aim is to ensure that the shoulders, hips, and knees remain aligned horizontally on the same level. Achieving an instinctive mastery of this position and developing the requisite muscles to hold it effortlessly may necessitate some time. However, similar to many other aspects of scuba diving, this will become second nature with the proper approach to practice. To fully grasp the concept, observe the diver who is properly weighted and whose weights are evenly distributed across their equipment for optimal balance. Without engaging the necessary tension in the right muscles, the diver struggles to maintain the correct position while stationary. As a result, they must continually adjust their posture through constant movement to re-establish the ideal horizontal trim again and again. The direction of tilting is influenced by the momentary imbalance in the diver's posture. For instance, if they lean slightly to the right, they will continue to roll in that direction unless they actively engage their muscles to maintain balance. When a diver is continuously moving, such as with constant swimming, they might not recognize this issue. They may attribute their constant motion solely to swimming, but a significant portion of it is actually compensating for improper body posture. This ongoing effort to maintain the correct position leads to increased energy expenditure and consequently higher air consumption. Additionally, this issue may cause frustration as it prevents the diver from conducting their dive in a relaxed manner. The secret to achieving and maintaining the correct body posture while diving is to create a subtle tension in the shoulder blades, glutes, and thighs. This approach stabilizes the torso and upper leg region, ensuring that the shoulders, hips, and knees remain horizontally aligned, enabling the diver to maintain the correct trim position without the necessity for constant adjustments. However, the applied tension must be carefully balanced. It needs to be strong enough to uphold the proper alignment, yet not so intense that it leads to cramps or muscle fatigue. Striking this balance is a matter of personal experience and sensation, as there is no universal rule to determine the optimal level of tension. Divers may need to experiment and practice over time to discover the precise amount of tension that works best for them. The process involves developing an awareness of one's body and its responses, gradually learning to engage the muscles just enough to maintain posture without overexertion. This balance is crucial, as it allows divers to retain the correct position effortlessly, enhancing their overall diving experience and efficiency. The same principle applies to the process of descending. During this stage, maintaining the correct trim is paramount. Struggling with instability and rolling around due to incorrect body posture may lead to several issues, including disorientation, difficulties with ear equalization, separation from the diving team, and, in the worst-case scenario, a compromised ability to respond effectively in emergencies. As demonstrated by the diver, descending without engaging the appropriate muscles to create the necessary tension results in tilting and turning. This lack of stability forces the diver into a constant battle to correct their body position, undermining their control and increasing the risk of complications. However, by engaging the appropriate muscles, divers achieve a more controlled and stable descent, thereby enhancing both safety and coordination with their team. This approach reduces the likelihood of encountering equalization issues and provides better control over movement and actions. Starting the dive with a controlled descent boosts confidence and makes divers more prepared to handle emergency situations effectively. Additionally, as discussed in our video on descending, maintaining the correct trim position allows divers to better regulate their descent speed and halt their descent if a problem arises. In achieving a proper horizontal trim, your legs also play a vital role. Once you have determined the appropriate level of tension for maintaining optimal trim and your shoulder-hip-knee alignment is on point, the positioning of your lower legs and fins becomes critical for fine-tuning balance. Maintaining your knees bent at a 90-degree angle with your lower legs vertical or close to your buttocks can destabilize balance when stationary, requiring excessive adjustments to sustain a horizontal trim. Instead, extending your legs slightly to create a 45-degree angle between the thigh and lower leg, while ensuring that your fins remain flat and parallel to your body, facilitates maintaining a horizontal position without requiring additional adjustments. As previously mentioned, divers may be unaware of the excessive and unnecessary movements they make while swimming to compensate for insufficient body alignment. This issue is compounded by the lack of streamlining, a key factor in conserving energy underwater. Without engaging the proper tension in the glutes and thighs, properly executing an effective frog kick or any finning technique is nearly impossible, as the knees will inevitably drop below the optimal level. This deviation disrupts the streamlined body position, resulting in increased energy expenditure to propel oneself through the water. The remedy is clear. Employ the correct muscle contraction technique not only while stationary but also when in motion. Maintaining the optimal trim position through appropriate muscle tension at all times while underwater will result in proper streamlined body alignment. This will reduce the exertion required for swimming and ultimately lead to more effective, energy-efficient, and gas-conserving dives. The most effective method to comprehend the correct body alignment is to lay on a flat surface. Begin by lifting your head, looking forward, and extending your arms in a V shape. Pull your shoulders back to bring your shoulder blades closer together, creating tension between them. Subsequently, contract your glutes to lock your hips forward and simultaneously squeeze your thighs. Bend your knees to form an approximately 45-degree angle between your thighs and lower legs, and flex your ankles to keep your feet flat and parallel to your body. This constitutes the optimal body alignment for scuba diving, and you should be able to achieve this position effortlessly. Feeling a slight tension in the lower back at this stage signifies that you are performing the procedure correctly. Muscle fatigue or cramps may indicate one of two issues. Either you are performing the technique incorrectly, such as through over-tensioning or excessive arching, or you lack the necessary strength, requiring further muscle development for effective engagement. One effective exercise for strengthening the core is the glute bridge, also known as the hip raise. To execute this move, lie flat on your back with your knees bent so that your feet are firmly placed on the ground, and position your arms at your sides. Maintain an open chest while ensuring your shoulders and lower back remain pressed against the floor. Lift your hips to create tension in your glutes and abdominals without excessive arching of the back. For a more advanced variation, start in the same lying position but extend one leg at a time while performing the exercise. Repeat these movements as many times as comfortable, gradually increasing the number of repetitions over time. Another highly effective exercise is the Superman. Begin by lying face down on the ground with your legs straight and your arms fully extended in front of you. Keep your head in a neutral position. Avoid looking up while slowly lift your arms and legs off the ground until you feel a contraction in your lower back. Simultaneously engage your glutes, your core, and the muscles between your shoulder blades. Hold this position for 2-3 seconds before you lower your limbs back to the ground. It is crucial to lift only to the extent that is comfortable for your body, and if this movement proves too challenging, focus on lifting only your arms initially. To enhance the intensity of this exercise over time, consider holding weights in your hands while performing it. Thanks for watching and hope you learned something. Consider subscribing to Flow State Divers to become part of the community of conscious divers and to get notified on our upcoming content.